Hey everybody, welcome to Yoga with Anadil. I am Anadil. Thank you so much for joining me today for our Power Up Yoga. Designed if you feel like you've got a lot of fire already and you feel the need, the desire to burn through that, then this is for you. Or if you want to tap into your own personal power, rev that up, power that up so that you can get focused and determined in whatever it is you approach, then this is the class for you too. So please get ready and I'll see you on the mat in a mo. So let us begin by coming down to all fours. So our hands are underneath our shoulders, our knees are hip distance apart underneath our knees. So we're going to ignite our fire, so really start that power revving up. So we'll do that by standing tall in our box pose as we breathe in and get neutral through the front of the body as we breathe out. And by that I mean just gently hugging back the heart and the navel towards the spine. Use your breath to bellow the embers of your power in your core. And as we breathe our next breath in, let's arch the back into our cow posture so the tailbone shines up, feeding the belly, the fire in the belly with your breath, igniting your power. And then as you draw your next breath out, let's lift the navel up towards the spine, curl the spine up, really igniting the core. Keep pulling in the belly towards your spine and the heart towards your back. Press into the hands, press into the knees and the tops of the feet. Pulse with your breath in, stoke the fire with your powerful breath. As you breathe out, lifting into your cat posture, chin to chest, really drawing that tailbone down as much as you can. Breath in, sweeping the insides of the elbows forward to help you arch your back by bringing your shoulder blades in and down. And as you breathe out, sweeping the insides of the elbows to face towards each other as you breathe out, and lift into your cat posture, curling the spine as we come to neutral. Breathing in, let's lift through the right knee. Get strong by pulling that knee up and drawing the quads up. Next breath in, let's lift through the left hand and reach forward. Stay here and breathe in and out by pulling in your core to stoke that power at your very core. If you like, you can add on by lifting through that back heel, really pressing in to what's left of your foundation in your right hand, your right knee, perhaps the shin and the back foot. Spread the toes of the lifted leg and try not to arch your back, so strong core to tap into your power, your determination, and breathe in and out here. Keep pulling in the heart, keep pulling back the navel and keep lifting that back foot as much as you are able today. As you breathe out, let's bend the knee, let's bend the elbow and bring the knee and the elbow towards each other. Hug in, curl through that spine just like in your cat posture. Breath out, reach it out. Let it go, get determined, spread the toes. Dial the back toes and the back knee down so you're nice and level through the hips. Let's do that one more time. Let's pulse with the breath. Breath out, bringing the knee and the elbow towards each other. Now lift this back heel towards your bottom. Big breath in and bring it down. So we're just starting to warm through the fires. Lifting the spine up into your cat posture, bringing the hips over your heels and dropping your head into child's pose, maybe giving a moment or two to rest into your wrists. Let the fires gently burn. Breath in onto all fours, and let's do the other side. On your next breath in, let's just get nice and stable. Our foundations for where we move from are everything. So it matters how we set up and how we move. So lifting in, up through the left knee as you breathe in. If you like, you can reach through the right arm, just plugging back the shoulder a little bit so you're not hanging off your joints, as it were. And really press into the supporting hand. You can stay here, really pull in the core and the heart, keep as level through the hips as you can and breathe. If you like, you can add on by keeping the left toes pointing down towards the earth as you lift up through that back heel. Again, it doesn't matter how high you go as long as you're at your maximum stretch and reach both the heel towards the back of you and your fingertips towards the front of you. Next breath out. Let's bring that knee and the elbow together. Big breath in, reach it out, try not to arch the back, keep pulling the core towards the back of you. And let's do that one more time, breath out. Into your cat posture, tailbone down, chin to chest, breath in. Heels, heel back, toes down behind you, and let's bring that down. Big breath in. As you breathe out, curl the spine towards the sky, tailbone down, chin to chest, reaching your hips back over your heels as much as is comfortable for you. So if you're here and that's your maximum stretch, that's good. As long as you're breathing, as long as you're gently leaning into your child's pose, your wisdom pose, then it's all good. Now from child's pose, let's reach the fingertips forward. At the same time, taking the hips down and the tailbone down. And as we breathe in, we'll come up onto all fours. So with that stretch in the arms, we're now into half plank. So again, let's not get too loose in this. So we want to lift the hips, lift the core, press into the feet and the hands. And we're going to breathe here. If you'd like a little bit more, you can lift through the ankles, maybe cross the ankles over and breathe here. Or if you have full plank in your practice, or you'd like to try, you can lift your knees into plank. The important thing is to press into your fingers here. Maybe bring the heels over your toes and breathe for 3. As long as you can, come down onto your knees if you need to for 2. Keep going, come down on the knees, otherwise you keep breathing, and eventually we'll make our way down to the belly on your next out breath. Bow the head, flatten the feet, and as we breathe in, we're going to lift the heart into our just a little baby cobra. So pressing the backs of the legs in, activating through the glutes, lifting through the heart, bowing it down. Let's pulse with the breath. Press into the hands, rise on up. Maybe you find a little bit more space for your cobra. Breath out. Be mindful of the weight in your wrists. Keep the elbows hugged in. Keep the chin down until you raise on up and then lift through the chin. And breath out. So just aim for having your hands stacked underneath, safely underneath your elbows. And as we breathe in, press into the hands, lift onto all fours. And here you can stay onto all fours, just perhaps readjust so you're nicely aligned safely through the joints. So you can stay here in your tabletop back, or you can curl the toes under and lift your hips into down dog. So as you breathe in, press into the ground, lift the knees. And as you breathe out, you hinge your hips up and back as your legs work towards straight. So whether you're on all fours or whether you're in your down dog position, you're pressing into your fingertips, the knuckles, the thumbs, to resist too much pressure in your wrists. You're focusing on your core and breathing into it, stoking that fire. Now imagine that burning brightly at your core now, and as you breathe it out, send that all the way to your fingertips and all the way to your toes, igniting everything in between. And from wherever you are, we're now going to lift through the right leg. So maybe you flatten the left foot down if you're in down dog, or maybe just get stronger through the left knee if you're on all fours. As we breathe in, we'll reach away with the heel and then back and up. And remember to dial the toes down and the knees down. As we breathe out, we're going to sweep that knee into nose, come up high on the ball of that back foot and lift the hips and back into your cat posture, bringing your chin towards chest. Breathe it in, come down on the supporting heel, sweep that right leg back once more, being mindful of level hips. Breath out, let's do that one more time. Breath in, sweep it back. And one more time for good measure. Breath out. Bringing the feet down into your down dog. Coming down to knees if you're already on your knees. Just press in onto all fours now, curling the spine up, chin to chest. Taking the hips over heels, stretching your fingertips as far forward as you can. Breath in, coming onto all fours into your half plank. Stay there or raise through the ankles or raise through into plank. And we're going to come down onto the belly. Now, if you prefer not to, you can simply skip it and stay where you are and breathe, preferably deeply into your core. Otherwise, as you breathe out, keep your elbows stacked over your wrists as you make your way down. And as you fire up into the legs, press into the hands as we lift. Big breath in into cobra. And as you breathe out, bow it down. Keep the chin tucked in, maybe lean back with your shoulder blades. As we breathe in, bow it down as we breathe out. Breath in onto all fours. Hips over heels. As you breathe out, keep the fingers stretching forward. As we lift in, breathe in onto all fours. Maybe you have to bring the knees in to adjust. Stay there, or you can lift into your down dog. And take a couple of breaths here. So we'll get ready to lift through the left legs, but spend a moment in either your tabletop on all fours or in your down dog. Straightening through the spine as much as you can in either option. And then maybe we invite a deeper foundation into the right knee if you're on all fours, or into the right heel if you're in your down dog. Big breath in, follow the length of the breath as you glide that left foot up towards the air, dialing down the hip points, the knee and the toes. Breath out, bring the knee into nose, come up high in the ball of that back foot, curl through the spine, go for kissing that knee, and remember to lift that left heel up towards your bottom. As you breathe in, allow the right heel to come down, straightening out through that left leg. Now try to keep as square as you can also in your shoulders as well as your hips to keep the joints nice and safe. Let's do that one more time. Breath out, curl in. As we breathe in, we'll sweep it back, stretch out, and bring that foot down. Let's come this down dog or on your knees. We're going to walk up so we can rise to standing. So we're going to very gently stroll the feet up, maybe having a little calf and hamstring stretch along the way, stepping the other foot through, maybe having a little stretch on the opposite leg. I like to come up onto my fingertips to give me a bit more space to walk further in. Feet are hip distance apart, bend through the knees, and just take a moment to perhaps feel the heat, feel the power coursing through your systems. Releasing the hands as we curl on up to standing. So keep the chin tucked, the head low, until you're all the way up to standing. So let's turn to the side of the mat and just take a wide stance as we work a little bit more. Pressing the outer edges of the feet. Let's begin with the hands on hips. Especially if the shoulders and arms are feeling a little bit tired, it's nice to give them a little bit of respite now. Let's turn the right toes to face out to the right. We'll bend into that front knee. Make sure the back toe keeps plugging down and you're strong through that. And we're going to lift through that front heel. And we're going to pivot through the hip socket to bring the knee over the ankle. And we'll hold, so have a look over at least your big toe. If you can't see your foot at all, you need to just take a shorter stride, keeping the knee over the ankle. And you breathe, keep that heel lifted up, keep the back quads and the front quads lifted up as you breathe. And then place that heel down, but keep pressing into the ball of the foot like you just have been. You can keep your hands where they are, or you can bring them out to shoulder height, looking over the front arm and just being mindful of that back arm. And you reach in both directions, keeping the heart over the center of your pelvis as much as you're able. If you're leaning forward, just invite yourself back to what is possible for you today as you breathe. And then let's ease off, straighten that front leg. Now let's move into our peaceful warrior. So turn the front palm up, take a look at your back hand and slide it down your leg and let the front hand reach up and over. And as you do, lean into that front leg. Be mindful of pivoting through the hip to keep the knee over your ankle. You can even take a glance into your peaceful warrior. Big breath in, nudge the ribs up. And as we breathe out, we'll sweep that top hand, palm faces the sky, rest your elbow onto the front knee. Sweep that back hand out and over your ear into side angle pose, supported. So invite the bottom ribs towards the front of you, the heart up towards the sky, and work for a line from your back toe all the way through your fingertips. Big breath in and out, engage your core, power up through the toes all the way to the fingertips. Maybe you even lift the elbow off your knee, perhaps placing it at the heart as you breathe. And breath in, straighten through that front knee. Let's go into our reverse warrior once more, taking a look at the back hand, straightening through the front leg just for a moment. As you breathe out, you lean in. Big breath in and out here. As we pulse with the breath out, the top hand sweeps and rests on the knee. Big breath in, the back hand moves on up. Take as little weight into your elbows as you're able. You may even want to lift off that arm and press your hand onto your heart. Let's straighten that front leg. Bring the arms out beside you. And then rest onto your hips, paralleling through the feet. Now let's bring the right heel in and the left heel in. So your toes are roughly in line with your knees without cranking your knees in line with your toes. Let's lift through the right heel, bringing a little deeper squat. Let's lift, breath in, and squat, breath out. Let's lift through the left heel and place it down. And once again, big breath out. Keeping the heart over your hips, your knees wide, pressing into the little toes. And you can do that again either side, starting with the right, then the left, or you can lift both. Breathe for as long as you can. Build your fire and release the knees, the heels down, straightening through the legs, paralleling through the feet. Well done. Just take a moment to breathe, especially if your body is talking to you. Just quieten that conversation with your breath, sending that breath into these areas to soothe. Pointing the left toes out now, bending through that front knee, just making sure we're aligned. So lift that left heel, pivot through the hips to bring that knee over the heel and bend in. Keep the back leg strong. Feel the outer edges of your back foot. And breathe. You can place the heel down now, but keep the pressure in the toes. You have a choice to include the arms, or you can keep them resting onto your hips, and you breathe, maybe you lean in a little bit more. Next breath in, let's straighten that front leg, raise the front palm, take a look at your back hand, reverse warrior, sliding the back hand down, reaching the top hand over, as we then keep reaching back with the hand, reaching forward with the ribs bending into the knee. Let's just ease off, breath in, breath out, slide that hand down, look at the back foot, reach the arm back, the knee forward, keeping that knee over your ankle. Big breath in, and the top hand, breath out, comes down, palm facing up, resting the forearm onto your leg, the back hand, next breath in, sweeps over, palm facing down over the ear. So if your heart is wanting to sink down to the earth, take your bottom ribs, draw them towards the front of you, maybe the heart lifts. And as you breathe, maybe take a little less weight in the forearm or completely away by resting your hands onto your heart. Lean in, big breath in. And as you breathe out, we'll straighten that front leg. We'll sweep the arms into our peaceful warrior. Reach forward. As we breathe out, sliding, sweeping that hand down. Back hand sweeps forward, big breath in. Lean in, take your hand to your position. As we breathe in, straighten that front leg, taking the arms wide or resting your hands down, paralleling through the feet. So we'll just shuffle our heels and toes in towards each other to come to standing, and with feet hip distance apart, we'll take a deep breath in, rise on up nice and tall, So root through the feet, engage through the knees. Palms touching the sky, or they can just be shoulder distance or even wider if your shoulders want. And as we breathe out, we're going to forward fold, bending the knees if you need to reach the ground. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see. And as we breathe in, you can straighten the legs, maybe come up onto fingertips to make a tabletop back, or you can rest your hands onto your shins for a tabletop back, maybe even the thighs. Just create space for your breath. Taking the shoulders back, the neck is long. No creasing in the back of the neck. And as we breathe out, bend through the knees, slide your hands down, place your hands onto the floor, and bring one knee down and then the other, sweeping the feet around and coming onto your mat. So for our final bit of work, we're going to look at Navasana, which is the boat pose. So we bend through the knees in your sitting position, bring the feet, the knees together, and we hold behind the knees with your hands. And we gently take the torso, the heart back, and we keep space in the chin and chest, maybe just lifting your gaze perhaps to the top corner of the room. And you may want to come up onto your toes now, and you'll feel the center of gravity shift. So really draw in that core, pull your navel into spine, lift your heart up, your shoulders back, and keep strong in your neck. As you breathe out, you may want to lift through the feet. So if your feet are here, that's okay. Just spread your toes. It helps the weight in your legs lift. Or you can aim towards lifting your feet in line with your knees. Keep strong core and breathe. And release the feet down. Cross over the ankles. And please just hug yourself in, wrap your hands, your arms around your knees, your legs, and bow it down. And rock from side to side. Curl through the spine and breathe. And then let's do that again. Bring in the feet out. Hands behind the knees. Reaching back, getting strong through your core. So if you're rounding through the back, lift as much as your core will enable. And then big breath to lift through the knees, the heels, sorry, lift through the heels. You have the choice of holding like before, or if you'd like a lighter touch, you can use your two peace fingers just as a suggestion of support behind you, or you can release the knees completely, reach forward. And you breathe. If you like, you can even work towards straightening the legs, keep reaching forward. And you breathe, keep breathing, spread the toes, keep pulling up through the thighs. And bring your knees in with support of your hands. This time cross over your ankles in the opposite direction. So the opposite ankle is leading. And once again, you hug around, bow it down, curl through the spine and rock from side to side. And just from here, you can begin to take your feet out, maybe unravel your feet, and just take a moment or two, maybe allowing the knees to even fall out a little bit, to now let that energy cool down, to settle. Let that strong fire stay contained within you. Well done for powering up. And just allow the embers to burn quietly, strongly, subtly. Ready to ignite whenever you need it. So stay here and breathe. You can lie back. Spend as long as you have in Shavasana. So I hope this yoga class has helped you to power up, ready to take on anything. Thank you. And if you enjoyed it, please remember to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to join me again for some more, remember we have weekly videos. Please do subscribe, and I look forward to practicing with you again then.